since we're talking about horror, we gotta talk about Squid Games.
Oh,
It is.
Sorry.
I kind of like Squid Game. Like,
No, I do too.
It sounds like SpongeBob. Squidworth or something like that.
No,
like
it's called Squid Game. It's like...
Hi, and welcome to Onyx Family Podcast Halloween edition.
Ooh.
I remember growing up,
Yeah.
my parents, it was one of the darkest holidays. And it wasn't just dark because of ghosts and monsters and goblins and death, but it was dark because my parents would literally turn off the light. Literally, it would be like, everybody, go upstairs to your room. It's dark now. Turn off the lights. Don't let anybody know. And I mean, when I stop and think about it, I can understand. I grew up, very traditional Christian family. And so some of these things, it was just like, kind of taboo.
Yeah.
But I decided that when we had our family, that we were going to do things a little bit different. And it's not like I'm embracing like death and darkness, because we're children of the light, right? I felt like it was more important to meet darkness with light as opposed to meet darkness with turning off the light. So we as children of light, we've embraced every single day of the year, all holidays, and we just figure out how can we bring light to whatever space that we occupy. And that's what the Onyx family is about. We're about bringing light wherever we go. Mm-hmm. So with that said, we just want to share with you some of our Halloween traditions.
Wait, I just want to say, though, I thought that was only in movies where they turn off the light to avoid...
No, like literally. Like it was like, turn off the light because we don't want them to egg us. Because, there was a time period back like in the 80s where if you did not turn on your light, turn off your light, and they thought that you were home but you weren't answering, teenagers would be like egging your home. And
I didn't know that
Whoa.
no, it was actually a thing.
Did anyone egg your home?
No, but we've seen it being egged. Or people would like take toilet paper and like toilet paper your trees.
You see movie things. I didn't think that people would actually do that.
Yeah.
It seems like a waste of
I
time.
feel like, in my opinion, back in like the probably 70s, 80s, people were just more adventurous. They would just do things.
Right.
But now we have Ring
And
now.
the thing is, when people did it, it wasn't like malicious.
It wasn't malicious. It was all
like
a part
pranks,
of the game.
and it was, it's not like it was fun to clean up or anything, but it was literally, I think nowadays people are so touchy and sensitive that it would just set off probably violence. But back then it was just like, oh, those teenagers.
Well, you guys are children of the 80s. Have you guys ever done that?
We never threw eggs. I didn't throw eggs.
Not for that. I've gone to a house to TP, like I went to sleepover, things like that.
Wow.
But
Rebel Rita.
And back then it was huge. Like they put razor blades inside of your candy and things like that. So it was really...
well, that's different. But yeah, that's definitely a part of the fear.
But it was all this fear around Halloween. Like avoid Halloween at all costs. Because, it's bad in every single way. In every single way, it's bad. And avoid it. And that was like, sort of like, that was the response. That was the fear response to Halloween. It was like, just completely avoid it. Turn off your lights. Get through this day. And, by any means possible.
Sorry, were they acting like it was Purge Day?
Purge Day? No. The Purge.
The Purge?
Well, I don't know. It's just that, like I said, we were really conservative, traditional.
It sounds like turn off the lights.
We're very conservative, traditional. So it was not just avoiding TPing and all this stuff, but it was just avoiding the whole day because it was dark. It was evil. And they decided to turn off the lights and avoid it. And I think we do things differently. I think that we turn on our lights and we engage. We engage community. We engage our fans. We engage people. And we're more and more about, hey, how can we use this day to spread light?
Well, I think for me, as growing up, my family, we did it differently. We were also a Christian family. And I went to a Christian elementary and high school. But when I was in elementary school, especially, we'd have at the same day of Halloween, but it was not a Halloween party. I want you to know it was not a Halloween party.
They wanted you to know
that. It was a fall party, okay? Right. So don't get it twisted. Just because we were allowed to dress in costumes on Halloween night, and there was lots of candy there, and there was bobbing for apples pre-COVID. And there were a whole bunch of spooky things, but not spooky because you couldn't be a skeleton, you couldn't be anything evil. You could be like
An
any
angel?
characters, angel. You didn't have to be spiritual things or biblical things, but you just
Right.
couldn't be anything like witches, no mummies, nothing ghoulish, no skeletons,
Got
nothing
you,
like that.
got you.
But let's just make sure that you guys knew it was not a Halloween party.
Right.
It was a fall party,
It was a
Right,
Halloween
right.
party, but like some rules changed.
basically.
Basically, the if you miss the sarcasm, yeah, basically.
Yes. Obviously, Shiloh, that's what it was. But for those who don't get it, I'm glad you said that.
Right. But then, as we did it, I think when we were younger, when you guys were much younger, I think we didn't really get into Halloween.
No.
We had candy and things like that. We gave you guys candy, but we didn't get into it. I think it was at this one year where we had a friend and she started to do this thing called Hallelujah Night. And on this time, like, it would be sort of like your fall party where it's sort of like, they would dress up like angels and they would dress up like Bible characters and they would dress up, in these positive things. And then they would, give candy and they would do like different things like that. And that year, I remember that was one of our first years that we kind of embraced the day as something that we could do something positive. I remember we, gave candy out to the community and we began to engage the community and then you guys, what was the theme again?
The theme. Oh, you're talking about the theme we
Hallelujah
did.
Night. That year that we did
We did Hallelujah Night. We were like early teenage years, like 2015 or something, and it was medieval themed. It was kind of like not just medieval themed. It was that the time period where they were going
Like
against
the Middle
church.
Ages, yeah.
Middle
Middle
Ages.
Ages, right.
That's what I meant.
Right.
Middle Ages. Yeah.
Right.
So we dressing up as people like Martin Luther, Anne Askew. I don't know who that. Like the Queen Elizabeth the First.
Right.
Stuff like that.
And then you guys like did like art of that era and all the stuff, food
and
of
stuff
that
like
era.
that.
It
So
was,
we've been creative. We've tried to do different things, but I will say that I don't think that we've taken an approach where it's like, oh, if we did turn off the lights, it wasn't because of how like you were raised per se. It
Yeah.
literally could have been also because like,
We're
do we
lazy.
have any candy?
Yeah.
Oh, we're
we didn't have
tired.
candy this year, right?
I'm
right.
tired. I don't
Wanna
feel like
answer
dealing
the
with
door
this.
every
Right.
10 minutes.
You know, exactly.
All night.
It was just laziness, guys.
Yeah, sometimes it was just laziness. I mean, because a lot of times, I'd be working.
Yeah.
I'd be
Right.
like working
That's
up
true.
until like, almost midnight. So it was like, yeah, this is when I was, working as a nurse. So I was just like, I'm done. I was tired. But I think that our approach now, it varies. We'll give out candy.
Right.
Nice little
Yeah.
things.
I mean,
Yeah. So
We're really, it's really a fun time to engage the community, get to know our neighbors.
now our tradition, though, is to watch a scary movie together.
yes.
That
Uh-huh.
is really, really fun.
So what is it like? What is some of our favorite like shows, even kid shows, or like back when you were a kid, some of your favorite scary shows, or even now? Like, what are some of your
Yeah, Shah,
favorite?
what's yours?
I mean, it doesn't really fit the Halloween aspect. Well, it does, but like
Okay.
kind of like Harry Potter in a way. But like,
No, Harry Potter's a
it's-
good one.
It's not like Halloweenish. I mean, like it is like magic and everything, but like
No, but I think that's a good one. I like Harry Potter. That's
yeah. It's a very good, very cool series.
What do you guys like about that series?
I really love how like every single movie he grows older, so we like explore his how he acts each age, and
Yeah.
plus like the adventures that happen. So yeah,
cool. Adventures.
I think my favorite part of that movie was the wall with the talking portraits. They were funny.
Yes, definitely,
That's
definitely.
true. I remember that.
I love that one.
I don't think I watched that. Did I watch
I
it?
feel,
did
like
not.
I feel like that you probably
I might have been
one
sleeping.
movie, and you probably fell asleep, and then you were like, I'm done.
You know what's funny about this? The week prior, we had like a Harry Potter marathon. We watched Twilight, and you were there the whole time. We were
Twilight.
I actually liked Twilight. I like the story theme of Twilight.
Are you serious?
No, the story. I love a good love story kind of thing. So
Well,
didn't know that.
I like-
Twilight. Well, Twilight is my favorite Halloween sort of
That's
movie
funny.
franchise. Vampires and everything like that, and
Right.
werewolves. So
That's true. It is a Halloween movie.
I guess you could say
I
that.
didn't even think about it like that.
See, the reason why I liked it, and like I said,
Yeah.
I like a good love story. So, I mean, I just forget the fact that someone's like sucking a person's neck with blood. Like that is like the make believe stuff that
didn't
I
even
could
do
do
that.
without. I could do without. Well, I'm just saying, like, I don't know, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
But I like stories, like love stories and things like that, and couching love stories in a creative theme. I love that.
That's crazy. I really did not know that you watched Twilight.
Yeah.
I did as well.
I was expecting you to say that you didn't know that movie.
No. I remember
Like
that
he
one.
usually does.
What about you, Sinead and Shasha?
Oh man, what like favorite Halloween movie or what?
Well,
Scary movie and
scary
Halloween.
Scary
movies,
movie,
creepy,
scary
or
show.
something that you would like to watch.
Honestly, not a movie. I loved when we watched Stranger Things 2, season 2.
Stranger
Things
Things.
is Shasha's fave.
When we watched actually season 2 during Halloween. Actually, we were filming our Halloween movie, and we watched it after our Halloween movie.
Oh yeah, that was
You
fun.
guys even went to the Stranger Things
You went to
event.
StrangerCon.
Did you guys
Stranger
go?
Con.
Oh, this was years ago.
No, but we're saying that we went to StrangerCon as
Oh,
well.
yeah,
Met some of the
years
cast.
after, but
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that Halloween was a good Halloween.
That one's a good one. I would say that my favorite. This one's more like a cartoon. I really liked Gravity Falls. Watching Gravity Falls. Is like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know
Great.
that one.
Let's
What is that
look-
about?
It's about two kids and they go to this mysterious town and there's like a secret in the town and there's like a missing persons case and everything like that. But it's like a kid's cartoon. But it's really good. I don't know. I like
Spooky.
It's spooky.
It's hard for me to keep up with a lot of the new shows.
Well, it's not even new. It's actually pretty.
It is. Oh.
20 years old.
See,
2014.
for me, it would be Scooby Doo. That's how far back. That's how far back
I
I
would
go.
say
But
Scooby-Doo.
We liked the newer Scooby Doo.
Mystery Incorporated?
Oh, really?
Mystery Incorporated.
I loved all of the Scooby Doos. I just love the characters and how Shaggy and Scooby are silly. And then of course it never actually is a
Yeah.
ghost or it's never actually.
Kids.
It is like on.
So my favorite ones, I would say mine are more throwbacks. Like I would say Scream when it first came out was one. Nowadays, I don't know. I just feel like it's just weird to me. I know that I don't know. That one is. I don't really like violent stuff.
Yeah, Scream
But-
was a little violent. I
But
didn't really
used
like
to
that.
Like that. I used to like
Oh.
that franchise. I'll tell you which ones I regret watching.
What?
I regret watching Nightmare on Elm Street when
Oh,
I was
snap.
a kid.
That's
I
not
regret that.
cheesy.
Yeah, I don't.
It was to me, I felt like the 80s Halloween stuff, including Friday the 13th, Halloween the series, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Nightmare on Elm Street, they were all so gory.
Right, and I just don't like the killing. Like
yeah,
all that.
I didn't like that.
Why do we have to glorify all that killing? So it's just like, I don't know. I like the horror films that are more like M. Night Shyamalan, where
Yes,
like-
I like his stuff.
his stuff is like very meaningful. There's always like
Yeah.
some positive message behind it. A message.
Salomon?
Oh yeah,
Like
his stuff
Signs,
is
Nice if
The
you saw it.
Village.
The Village, things like that. It's scary, but then when it all comes together, there's a deeper meaning.
What about it? Like it, the movie.
I never watched that.
What?
You watched it before?
Did I?
Yeah,
She did.
You watched it. No, what happened is
the new one.
no, not it too. You didn't watch it.
No,
too, but
you watched
it with
the new
Shasha.
one.
No, I mean the old one. The old It.
Oh, the old it.
I never said the
First
old
of all,
one.
I never saw the old or the new one.
You saw the new
You
one.
saw the new one.
Saw the,
You saw the new one.
okay,
You saw the new one.
listen up. They were applying to college, and one day that there was like this practice. run when
Oh
they were
yeah,
at
I
college.
did see
They
it.
were like, okay, let's watch it together since they're not home, and we watched it.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I have good memory.
I was
What
downstairs.
thinking of? It was It Too.
Yeah,
we
we didn't
decided
know.
not to
No,
watch
no,
It Too.
Watch.
We walked out of that.
Y'all were scared. Probably.
Did we actually go to the movies to watch that?
We did, and then we watched.
Yeah.
We were like,
No, no, no.
nah.
It was too much.
I didn't
First
see
few
it.
minutes, we were like, it's too much for us.
I didn't see it.
I was so scared.
But I already know. Y'all, I was just scared. I could have watched it with no
it's
problems.
Not, it's not scary.
It wasn't scary.
It's not
It was
scary.
More like
It's like we didn't
That's
want
the
to.
point. We didn't like the gore.
The gore, right?
Yeah.
We a lot of times we'll walk out. Like I remember even when we were dating, I remember we would walk out of films because we're just like we don't like the
When
message,
we were dating, the Saw series started.
right?
And I remember we saw like the first one and we were like, ugh, this is too violent.
Y'all
Right.
say
I
that,
like it.
but y'all love zombie movies.
I stopped watching
zombie movies. I know that
I used to like
Mummy used to
zombies. I
love
used to love
zombies.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, she stopped
I-
watching Walking Dead.
I haven't watched it in
Okay,
What about
so
the
first of
Korean
all, let's just talk about it from on many levels because on a creative level, a lot of the reasons why sometimes these shows do so well and sometimes we would even want to watch it is because creatively they're really good. Like
Right.
cinematic, they're really good. They have great storylines, all that kind of stuff.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
got to give them the credit credit where credit is
That's
due.
the thing. If we like to appreciate, even if it does have some violence and stuff, if it's a really good story or there's great cinematography,
The art.
we love the art of it. But if it's something where we feel like that, man, they just throw it in to make it entertaining.
That's just my thought.
I think it's the repetitiveness, like of the gore and everything.
The repetitiveness, but also if there's no other meat to the meal, you know what I mean?
Me too.
Yeah, for example, I like war movies. I like
But those
Yes.
are always violent because it's
Exactly.
war. But there's always a story and there's a purpose to it.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
Exactly.
No, when I stopped watching Walking Dead, there was an episode, and this zombie, he was like you said, they had impaled it, they had shot it, they started kicking the head, they started stomping on the head, they started doing all this stuff, and I was just like, I can't take this, because the thing is, you're supposed to start making connections between these zombies and people who were like family at
alive
some
before,
point,
right?
You know, and so I just couldn't take it. But I mean, that's just us though. And everybody has their limits.
Sure, exactly.
I like
Yeah.
Korean movies, like remember the dog one where that woman was hiding in the car from a violent dog.
Cujo.
Cujo.
Cujo was a good horror movie.
Oh my
but,
goodness,
like,
that was
Well,
intense. That was intense.
I forgot. Was it gory?
It was. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. It was.
I forgot.
It was intense. It was a dog, but it's explainable because that's what dogs are.
Well,
Rabid dogs.
Well, no, because it got bitten by a bat. That's why.
Right.
But I think, Shiloh, the point that we're saying is not, first of all, what we do is what we do. What we're comfortable is what we're comfortable with. I am not telling the audience, so this is how you must think.
No,
of something.
no, not at all.
But also, my level is not going to be someone else's level. My compromise is not going to be someone else's. My compromise is not even what Daddy's is.
I know.
And vice
look how many
versa.
times. Look how many times I may watch something and
Right.
you're like, I'm not really into that, and I really
Right.
like, I'm not into that.
So, guys, since we're talking about horror, we got to talk about Squid Games.
Oh, that
It
came
is-
from,
sorry. I kind of like Squid Game. Like, it's.
No, I do too. I only
Okay.
watched the first episode.
It sounds like
so far,
SpongeBob, Squidworth or something like that.
No,
Like
it's called Squid Game. It's like, okay, think about it like Hunger Games, basically, where it's like a K-drama like Hunger Games. Everyone.
well,
You're competing against games in like a tournament.
yes,
thing.
it's
Like,
kind of
money.
Yeah,
Very
to win money.
gory.
Basically, I think every time someone dies, money is earned.
Yes.
And every time like you survive like a game, it like the money keeps on adding up as much as
Right.
people
And
die.
if the thing is, if they don't want to play the game, then the money is going to go to the families of those that die. So basically, it's almost like they still won the money. That even the people that are dead, they still won the money because it's going to go to their families. They're going to get billions of dollars. Or well, no. I looked up how much it was. 1 billion won is like only a couple, like maybe 20.
No, it's
something.
It's like 30 million.
No. It's
like-
only it's only like a couple thousand.
Korean currency?
Korean currency is won. Yes.
Well,
And so-
I will
yeah.
say this, that I did see the first episode because everyone was talking about it. I said, okay, let me look at the first episode. First of all, I love K-drama movies.
Yeah, Korean movies.
I loved Parasite.
Korean
I love
movies are
Parasite.
really
Parasite.
popular.
I just watched Parasite the other day. I was like, I didn't watch it.
And see, and this is why.
Did you like it?
I loved it. It was great.
It was
Okay,
You know
and
what?
this is why anybody watching will be like, Rita is a hypocrite, because I'm telling you, because Parasite had a violent scene, Train to Busan, which I really like, that one was violent. What was the other one? Remember the other one we saw, and there was like an underwater creature? I can't remember what it was
I
called.
can't remember what it's called.
But so the
Oh,
thing
wow.
is, I can watch movies with violence. It's just, I don't know. There has to be more to the story. And a lot of times, like with
Well, let me-
Parasite, there was a lot more. And people will say, well, so does Walking Dead. I get it.
Wait,
but
but
I,
if you-
but I
if you
watched,
finish-
wait. But I watched Walking Dead for years and years and years. And I just started to, after a while, say, okay, I can't just do this like for several seasons over and
Right,
over and
right,
over.
right.
It's like playing like since Mortal Kombat since the beginning. Like if you played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you get tired of the gore.
Right. So
Right.
basically saying you got to vary the violence for me or something.
Yeah. Well, basically, like there's been articles been written about how violent the first episode of Squid Games was, and
Are they saying the other ones are not as violent?
No, they're just saying that the audience, when they watched it, when you're promoting something, you're always going to, say like the negatives of, what it was. So yeah, it was violent at the end of the episode. But I think that if you watch the whole series, there's like a point to it where it's definitely talking about greed, capitalism and just, there's like a purpose towards, what it's, it's talking about, like the whole series.
Well, that's what I find a lot with a lot of the Korean movies and stuff. Because even when we were watching Parasite, there was a message. Train to Busan, there was a message. Because I can't remember what the message was, but I just remember being like, wow, this was a really good movie. And then there's another one we watched where they were in a cave, something like that. I can't remember what it was called.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I can't remember what that one was called.
I can't remember what it was called.
It's not a horror one though.
It's not a horror one, but I'm just saying that I find that a lot of Korean movies,
There's a purpose.
There's a purpose or there's a message.
Shasha, you were going to say something to me. What was it?
No, I was saying that there was, even though it was a very Squid Games was very gory. There was a message of basically, money is not everything. Like, spoiler alert, during the thing. Well,
I don't want to be spoiled. I'm still watching it.
well, I'm just saying that basically it gets you more and more greedy. As you can see, the characters get more and more greedy. One of the scenes where one of the old men, they had what was it called again? Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's. So they were all buddies and stuff. But once they got so greedy, he started using the Alzheimer's against him in it. So it's just like the overall message is you don't. It's not worth to sacrifice everything for money. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
It was called The Host. That's what we saw.
The Host!
Yeah.
Did I see that one too?
No.
Oh, okay.
So jumpers are another level.
I don't know. These are
the conversations that people need to have. Like,
Yeah.
like it's gonna sound hypocritical sometimes, but everybody has a limit for
Everybody
everything.
has a limit.
Whether
Right, that's
it
true.
is for gore, whether it's
That
for
is true.
everybody has their personal opinion on it, and that's why we're not necessarily telling anybody what to do. This is just what we do.
Yeah,
From our family perspective.
some people even think Onyx Kids is too scary.
Oh my goodness. Let's get into
That's
that.
true. Let's get into that. Let's get into Onyx.
Some people actually be like, I don't let my kids watch Onyx because it scares them too much.
Especially our early stuff.
Our early stuff.
Oh, actually, our early stuff was really good. It was
Good. I was so proud. I was so
when you
proud.
when you compare our stuff though to something like it,
Right.
it is
It's just
very,
it's
very
unbelievable to me
mediocre.
that people thought that was scary. Like, okay, so like one of the first ones that
Right.
blew up was the Santa, and you were in a black morph suit in a Santa
blow-up Santa costume.
Santa costume, and the way that it was filmed, there was like some thrilling aspects of it. There was like some maybe jump scares, but I would not call it horror. I would not call it.
I would
No.
call it
Because
scary.
wait. I wouldn't call it horror either, but I do remember some episodes had me and Shasha as skeletons, like
Yeah,
No, but that's
just.
that's not like scary.
But if we stop and think about it, who were the parents that were saying it? More than likely, it was younger children. See, we were making it for older kids. We weren't really
that's
making it
true.
for young
Right.
kids.
We were making it
So
for
young kids, it
Yeah.
would be scary.
maybe, but like
Guys.
Yeah, because I remember when I was little, I mean, I feel like I would have gotten scared of this. Like,
Yes.
I mean,
right, but our content was definitely
there
not
was-
made for 4 years.
That's true.
Yeah,
But
because-
there was one that was scary that you guys did, and I had to tell you guys to tone it down. Remember?
I
I remember it was the gorilla one.
Yes.
Oh, the gorilla one?
So basically,
What's the Jack in the Box?
Basically, there was a Jack in the Box, and whenever you did at the end, a gorilla appeared in front of you. Screaming.
But the thing about it is,
How do we make
But the
the
thing-
gorilla scary? I don't even know how.
No. But a gorilla, because the gorilla costume really looked like a real life gorilla.
It looked freakish.
scary.
It looked like
freakish.
Bigfoot. It looked like the
Yeah,
Sasquatch.
there was this scene you guys edited though, in the gorilla thing where it was so creepy because it was just the gorilla quietly just doing the Jack in the Box.
Yeah,
Dun, 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 dun. And then it was like getting closer and closer, and it was just like I was like, this one is gonna scare kids. I got scared.
I feel like I want to make a retake of that one for our
Okay,
older audience
honestly.
because that one was
compared
good.
to that video, I remember this father saying that he wouldn't allow his daughter, or he said his daughter was scared of this bunny video that we did, and I was like, how is that scary?
No. Okay.
What was the bunny video
The
about?
Easter bunny. We took it in our house and we fed it stuff, but then it went. Okay,
Trying to eat that.
Yeah, yes. It was trying to eat us. So it was a giant one. We hid in our closet, and then we were like, Shasha, did you hear that? It was behind us. The Easter bunny was right there. We ran out.
When you explain it like that, it sounds scary, but when you watch it, I promise you,
Watch it. It doesn't seem that
it's
scary.
common.
Okay.
Remember the skeleton one?
Oh yeah, remember guys, do you remember the skeleton one? where it went viral overnight. Like it got like, I don't know, 15 or 18 million like overnight.
Right.
Yes.
That was like the first time anything we did got that much,
Right.
that many views in that short of amount of a time.
That
that
one,
in our
and
backyard?
Also,
Was
when
that the one that was in our backyard where we had like the
No, not even that one.
not that one.
cemetery? Oh, okay.
No, and the thing is, that one, and also whenever we did a mannequin one.
Oh,
The
yeah.
mannequin, we ended up.
Yeah.
I don't know how we ended up we started making the mannequins kind of scary / comical.
Yeah.
Right.
I
Our
think
stuff
it was,
has always been comedy /
Comedy, horror.
horror.
yeah. It was skeleton / shadow / mannequin.
Right.
And maybe the bubble, if you include that in. Like, maybe the bubble.
But
I
I
remember the
just
bubble.
feel like I can't really understand how people think our stuff was scary. But I will say this, that it goes to show you that that's why you can't say your level of scary should be the way everybody's level.
Exactly.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Because like, for example, like I will watch like Jordan Peele stuff now, you know, and I'll be like, whoa, that's a different type of horror.
Right.
Yeah,
You know?
it's a different type.
You know, so all these things are different types. We have ours, which is like comedy, horror, kids.
Right.
Right.
We have things that are now more racial with other things. Things that have to do with just like, you know, like I would say like, what do you call it? Like retro stuff, like Stranger Things. Like everything is just, it has its own flavor. And so that's why around this time of season, I actually do like it because, you know, I know no matter what people like to say, we do kind of like that thrilling kind
That
of scary.
feel, yeah, that feel of scare.
Yeah.
Right.
We do enjoy it, but I guess there's a limit to how
Right.
to how much you expose yourself, I guess, to these things, and how you live your life around these things. I feel like, you know, going in like our tradition of watching a scary movie, I feel like, you know, if we were doing that every week, not that there's anything wrong with it. For me, I could not do that.
Right.
No.
I just gravitate, like I said, I like to gravitate to if there's going to be scary horror or gratuitousness, because scary is one thing. Scary can be very lighthearted, like how we did scary. But if it's going to be somewhat gratuitous, where it's going to be, because I don't support killing. You know, I don't think killing is something. I think the vast majority of people on this planet don't support just gratuitous killing, just killing just for entertainment. And if it's killing for entertainment, I just don't support that. I just don't. Just me personally, I just don't support that. And I don't want to really entertain myself and laugh at it and things like
Critics will
that.
say to you that nothing is just for no reason. They will always say that this is their
Like a war-
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying, and that's why I said
You just have to have your reason that you're comfortable.
my reason is not for laughter. Killing someone for laughter. That's what I'm saying. I don't just for entertainment value,
got it.
but killing within the context of telling a story about war or killing in the context of telling a story about the crazy psyche of a murderer and getting into the mind of a murderer. You know, those are things that I could say, okay, I'm learning something from that. But for me, the entertainment value of I'm laughing because it's not funny to me. Like a lot of these things is just like what other people find funny. I just personally don't find it funny, and to each his own. I just personally don't find it funny or entertaining.
In my opinion, I don't have that much of a problem with horror movies. The one that gets me the most is horror games. I cannot play that for any reason. I will chicken out every single time someone tells me to play a horror game, because I cannot do it. You don't see me play horror games on Onyx at all, because there's a reason to that. I cannot do it.
I think that's really different, because it's like you're the player is the one that's killing, and so I feel like that has a lot of
No, it's the way
It's more
around.
like you're being hunted.
what?
It's like
Okay.
hunted.
I've never played a horror game, so I don't
Yeah, I haven't played that either.
That is the scariest thing ever, Sinead. I have games right on my computer that are horror games, and I never even open them. Because I buy them like, do I actually want to play this?
No.
Like, I'm so serious.
Well, I definitely see that you have your limits.
Yes.
Well-
And that's how we beat our virtual reality.
Well, let's transition to our cartoon that we have, Onyx Monster Mystery. Would you guys consider that scary?
You know,
No,
I wouldn't consider that scary.
it's so silly.
No, because it's like Scooby-Doo, like you said.
Yeah.
It's not actually, well, it is a monster, but like, it's friendly. It's not out there for like killing or anything. It's just kind of, scared, like, or
It's the fun aspects of this type of season.
Yeah.
Fun aspect of the spooky season. Yeah.
So maybe you want to share with the audience what it is about for those that don't know what Onyx Monster Mystery is. What's the overall premise?
Right. Onyx Monster Mysteries is our cartoon where it features our family. We do all the voiceover work. Shalom has written a few episodes.
Yep.
Sinead wrote every single song in every single episode plus the theme song. Now, what we did was we created this series to kind of show how a family works together. And what we do is we rescue monsters. So what happens is we get an alert that monsters are scaring humans in some sort of way. And we go there before they're hunted and brought down. We go there and we bring them to our island. And on our island, Atlas Island, we have a haven for them. Right. So on that island, we share it with a bunch of different monsters, and they have to learn to get along and have fun. And it's just a really fun movie show where we talk about togetherness. We talk about sometimes facing our fears, sometimes just family issues, working together. Like it's a really fun, lighthearted take on the spooky season, but it has some really, one of the things I think we're the most proud of really is the music. The music is really, really good.
Right.
It's fun. Those are the types of things that you can hear probably for generations.
I feel like
because when we were younger and when we watched different cartoons, some of the things we always remember is songs. If songs were in a cartoon, we will always remember it. Things like Phineas and Ferb, you will rember the songs from every Phineas and Ferb episode. Like
literally, songs make a cartoon.
Right.
Like literally, they make a show.
I feel like it's Jetson meets Scooby-Doo, sort of. It's but the Jetsons is like the family working together on missions. Scooby-Doo, it's never what you think it was. The monster is really not.
Well, the Jetsons didn't work together on missions. I would say the Jetsons, the reason why ours is Jetsons meets that is that Scooby-Doo is because it's very futuristic. Like we're using gadgets.
Yeah.
We are our outfits are something that you'd probably see on the Jetsons, things like that.
And what I like is that some of the messages that you can gain from it is not only just how families work together, teamwork and things like that, facing your fears, but one of them is also how we oftentimes can misunderstand others that we don't know. Because a lot of the monsters, they're not really monsters. It's like, we don't want to give any spoilers, but when you meet the monsters, when the average person in the world sees the monsters, they're scared of it. But once we meet them, we find out the real behind story of who this monster really is. And it's always comical and it's always interesting to find out who the Bigfoot really is or who Sasquatch really is.
Yeah. It's really good. It's a really fun one. I think you guys are really going to enjoy it.
And yes, we hope you guys enjoy watching it.
It's a perfect Halloween cartoon.
Right.
Yeah.
So, well, if you guys want to watch Onyx Monster Mysteries, you can catch it on several different platforms. It's on Amazon Kids Plus. It's on Amazon Prime. Season 1 is on YouTube. And guys, it's going to be on a ton of other platforms that we will be announcing soon.
Yes.
And
also season 2.
And we will give you a sneak peek of season 2 as well, because that one, is continuing more of the fun. So guys, it's a really, really great thing to watch, even together as a family. Mm-hmm. Let us know what you all think.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So talking about, some of the themes that are in Onyx Monster Mysteries, like family and facing your fears. I thought it would be nice to kind of share, what are some of our fears and how we have faced our fears.
Well, I'll start with mine. So when I was younger, I don't know at what point I became afraid of dogs, but there was a point where somehow I was scared of dogs. I would always do, though. The way I would cope was I would run. Now,
not a good idea.
I was a lot skinnier, so I was a lot faster. Okay, so I was really fast. As soon as someone brought around a dog that was off leash and I felt like it was coming towards me, I was out of there. And of course, that dog is like, "Yay, she's playing!" So I was chased so many times. I cannot tell you. I cannot count how many times I was chased by a dog, and it got so bad. Okay, I'm gonna admit this. It's gonna embarrass them, but I'm gonna admit this, guys. I would pee my pants all the time as I'm running.
No.
I was so afraid.
It's not embarrassing me, but kind of.
It might be embarrassing for you.
I don't do it anymore. It's not like I do it. But the point is, though, I was so scared that it was just like I was like terrified. So the neighborhood kids that I was friends with, they got a kick out of it. They would be crying. I would be crying, but I'd be crying from fear. They would be crying from laughter.
Oh my goodness.
And so what they would do is every now and then, I'm laughing now, but back then I would be so mad. Sometimes just a dog would come around. Maybe someone, I don't know, maybe it walked out of its yard, whatever. They would be like, let's go to Rita's. So they'd be like, Rita, you want to come and play? And I'd be like,
oh, that's
sure.
Cruel. That's cruel.
And at first, like, so I wouldn't know. And then all of a sudden there'd be a dog. And then they'd be like, hey, we found this dog. And then I'd be like, oh. And then, I would start backing up a bit. And then that dog would say, like, the dog would sense your energy. Now I know, like, dogs, they can sense your energy. So then it would start coming towards me. And then, of course, it would start. Finally, I wised up and started saying, no, I can't play,
Right. I'd be scared of my friends, too.
When there was, like, a group of people there and they'd be like, Rita, want to come and play? And I'm like, no, because I know what y'all want to do. But that fear really... It just plagued me. I was feeling like, okay, this is just plaguing me, like every single area of my life. And now, guys, I love dogs, and it's because I decided to face my fear. So what I did was, I actually bought 2 dogs years ago. 2 dogs that I knew were going to grow very big. They were black, and they were called Shady and Shadow. You all remember them. We're gonna put some photos of them. And I was like, well, first of all, that's a whole nother podcast, because we were supposed to train these dogs, and that didn't work out. But they were really, really, really great dogs, and they helped me get over the fear. I started becoming desensitized to growling or barking or the jumping or whatever. And I realized that, wow, I could have done this years ago and I would not have had as much issues with dogs.
Wow.
And so the way I faced it was I bought the dogs, and then of course now we have Shug. And Shug is he's just the most precious dog in the world.
Yeah.
So facing your fears, sometimes you have to face it and just come up with a strategy. Anybody else that you have?
Okay, so I have a fear of elevators. And I have to say, I did face my fear for one period of my life. So we were living in a condo, and we were living on what floor again?
The
23rd.
23rd floor.
Yes.
23rd floor. I remember when we first visited there, I was like, okay. So we went up on the elevator, and it wasn't until we left the elevator I realized how high we were. And I was like, we're living here?
Shasha, to be honest with you, I never thought that you would ever get into an elevator like that.
I never thought either. And we lived there for a long time.
But not only that, you didn't just like tough it out. You literally got used to it.
Right. I would
know?
ride down to get the mail.
Exactly.
Ride down to help with
Right.
It became a normal part of your life.
I mean, I never rode it alone. That's one thing. I've never ridden an elevator alone.
No, the thing is, the only reason why you didn't ride it alone is
because you're young.
Safety reasons. We just wanted to all stay together.
Right.
Because because you were like what? 12?
Man, one knows that.
Right, we didn't want to put you down in the elevator. We had other things that were more scary than the elevator itself.
Right,
having you ride alone.
So that's the only reason why you wouldn't ride it alone. Because I feel like that if you were now, you would probably ride it. Maybe.
No, I still wouldn't.
No, because to this day, you've only rode our elevator once.
And
that was because
and we asked you to
I
do
apologized.
No, I mean the thing is, though, I need to face my fears. Okay, I can't just ignore it. Because what if I broke my leg and I need to use it? I need to face my fears.
So,
it was on.
After this, go write it down right now.
No, it was on my 15th birthday. I rode the elevator once. It was great. I will ride it again.
So Shasha. So Shasha, what is your actual fear about the elevator exactly?
I don't like that I can't control it.
Mm-hmm. And you just don't like the feeling inside, right?
Yeah, that I just can't control it.
All right. But there's nothing that actually happens in the elevator, because every time you ride it, you're fine, right?
Yeah. But the thing is, listen to this. If it wasn't enclosed, like it closed, I would be fine. But it's like A robot controls it.
That's true. And another thing is that you're fine if there's a glass.
Yeah.
So I wonder, are you really scared of elevators, or are you not good? You're claustrophobic because if you see a glass, because if you see a glass, if you see out of it, you're fine with elevators. In fact, we go to the mall, and when it's a glass, you go in.
See, I miss I wasn't alive during this time, but I miss and I wish we had elevators from the time before, where there would be someone who manually did it.
Yes,
And
I would
with the
trust
accordion
that.
door. You could just
Right.
like it just felt like I get what you're saying. Like you have control over it. So
Now
Right.
I don't like how you can't get out until the robot tells you.
Well, one of the things I like about what you're saying, Shasha, is that fear is sometimes something that is tangible, where there's actually, like a bear is in front of you. You're in a forest, there's a bear in front of you. That bear can actually maul you. Okay, that's tangible. It's real life and it's in real time. But a lot of fears are also like not in real time and they're not tangible. They're just in our head. And so when you get into an elevator and it goes up and it goes down and everything is fine, then that is a fear that is probably not so much real time like a bear in front of you, but it's more like a mechanism of emotion in your mind. And one of the reasons why it's really good when you have a fear, if your family has a fear, to talk about it the way we're talking about it, is because as we talk, we're letting the fear out. Sometimes if we just keep our thoughts in and we don't talk it out and to kind of reason it out, we can maintain that fear because we're keeping that thought in our mind, even though it's not substantive. And so talking about it actually lets the fear out, but talking about it in a way that is understanding. So not like if you were talking about your fear and we're like, that's so silly, Shasha, just go in the elevator, okay? That's not a really great way to address fears. It's like, get it out and we can talk about it is one good step.
Isn't yours similar to Shasha's?
Yes.
Or is it similar to Mom's? I don't know which one you're going with.
No, I'm going to go similar to Shasha's. So I'm very scared of escalators. I'm terrified, actually. And maybe this coincides with me being afraid of heights, but I don't know. I just don't personally like escalators. I've been scared of it since I was little. And there are some times at a few events where I'm like, okay, I'm just not going down. Like here's the thing.
Is it down and up, or is it just down?
It used to be up. I've got over the up part. The down part is where it's scary.
You have not gotten over the up part.
Yes, I have.
I'm
have
scared
not.
of going up and not down.
Well, we're going up. It's like you can't look behind you, but when you go down, it's just
so you
it's
have to face
scary.
it. You have to
Yeah.
You think that you're gonna fall down the stairs or something?
Yeah, but you know what? It's not even the during. It's actually the beginning of it. It's like when you
just
step.
like stepping on and stepping off.
So it is. So what I find that happens to you, Shalom, is that you're trying to coordinate your hand and your feet at the same time to get on there, but your back feet oftentimes stays.
guys,
On
if
the
we
back
can show
part.
you footage
And so-
of Shalom getting on an escalator, it's hilarious.
No, wait, hold on. I just gotta.
Can you actually
If
see
there's
it?
an escalator right here, she'll step, and you know how the escalator is going forward? She'll be like this, and just kind of
All the way down,
goes
like-
this way until she falls forward. Well, not falling forward, but you know what I mean.
Right. So it's like
Ooh, and
it's a real fear, though. It's a real fear.
in Universal Studios, we had to go down.
I'm not gonna lie. Universal Studios escalators are a different story. They are tall.
The one
tall.
in LA. The one in LA.
In LA.
Yeah.
Everyone was scared, except for me, of course. But like everyone was scared. Except
wasn't
for,
scared.
You sure?
Oh,
I'm not scared of
scared of
escalators
It
because
was kind of just like, oh, this is
Yeah, but also Shalom, in California, when you and Sinead were at that mall, you were afraid of going up. So
No, I was
you
afraid
know,
of going down. I wasn't even afraid of going up because I knew I had to go back down.
yeah, going up. I can see what you're saying because going up, you can't fall forward because it will just be right
Yeah.
here. But you
What?
could.
Okay, the stairs were on the left side. The escalator was on the right side. You went the left side, and that was a month ago.
That's true.
Where was that?
We were in LA when we were filming for Onyx Family Dinner.
Oh,
and we
yeah.
were, and you guys, there was some store or something in that outdoor mall.
I was thinking about the escalator when we went to Lion King or something like
Oh
that.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
was that one? Which one was that one?
New York Broadway.
That was a New York Broadway
But I don't
escalator.
recall. Oh, that escalator. That wasn't that big.
It wasn't, but
still
I was so scared because then
That's true. You did avoid that one. You climbed up the stairs there.
yeah, I did. No, I climbed down. No, I went up, but when going down, Shasha was pulling
Shalom,
me
when you go up, it's because I force you.
because I knew I had to go down.
Force you.
Because I know I had to go down, and I was just really scared. Like we had this whole commotion, which Shasha was dragging me to the escalator, and the crowd was like coming out, and they were like, "What is going on?"
Right. So so that's another thing. When you're dealing with fears as a family, it can be frustrating to deal with people's fears. And so Shasha started dragging.
I don't like going to the elevator.
Right.
Go on the escalator.
Right.
Exactly. Like,
But-
all take
but one of the-
people are afraid of elevators and escalators.
It's good to encourage as a family when you're working together with fears. It's good to encourage one another and to be patient. You really have to be patient with one another
better
because
not
if we
patient.
drag, it's not the best idea to drag or force each other to face their fears. When facing fears, it really has to be something that person comes to determine that this is good for me. And so the best way to do that is if you're working together as a family, is to find ways to encourage that person to see that it's important that they face their fears, as opposed to you forcing them to face their fears.
So what are you scared of?
What?
Well, we'll go with
You
you first, Shiloh. What anything? And we haven't heard from Sinead either.
Yeah.
No, you go first.
No, you first. You first. There you
Don't
go.
waste time here. Don't waste time.
All right, let's go with. Let's go with.
Wait, just go. Sinead.
No, let's go with Sinead.
All right. So I have a really huge fear of needles, but okay. So hear me out. Well, okay, it goes even deeper than needles because I get afraid when even tacks drop on the floor. Like, yes, I hate when there's tacks around and people are not careful and they drop and you're like, oops, I dropped a thumbtack. Well, it looks like it's got no. Oh, wait,
sharp objects.
Well, no, because I'm not scared of knives.
Okay.
I'm not scared, I don't know. I'm not scared of, razors or shaving kits and stuff. I don't like maybe pointy things.
Pointy.
Like the thought of it puncturing my skin. Like, no. I hate.
How about punching up a balloon?
Oh, I hate popping balloons.
Sinead is scared of balloons.
Guys, this fear is deep for her though, because you guys had to get some shots.
Yes.
And this girl, she's an adult.
Okay.
She did not
you were
want
like
to do
19.
it.
So
you were
we
18
had
or 19.
You know how when you're going to college, sometimes you have to get the certain shots to go in the dorms, right? So we had to go get those shots, and I had to get my blood drawn too. So it was both. I could not handle it. First of all, I don't even know how I handled it. I was actually shaking before getting my wisdom teeth taken out. But before that, anyways, for the shot, I was freaking out. Like, I was good. I was shaking and stuff. But when I got in the chair to get the blood drawn and stuff, I started bawling. Like, I literally could not hold it together. I was crying tears.
I had to hold her hand and encourage her the whole time.
Yeah, I was not okay.
I literally had to be like, it's okay, sweetie.
But then there's blood too. There's blood too. You're scared of.
But I'm not as afraid of looking at blood. Like, I can look at blood and be like, oh, that's kind of gross, nasty. But
okay, so it cringes.
I don't like the needle aspect of it.
Yeah,
if someone just like, if somehow you could just get blood without doing any of that, maybe like a suction thing, whatever, without it. I don't know. I just like.
So explain to them your earrings then.
I wear clip-ons. I don't have pierced ears. No piercings for me. I don't have tattoos, not because I can't get them, but because I don't want
to. the needles.
Needles. I cannot stand needles.
There would be thousands of needles.
Exactly. The needles no.
Wow. So how about you, Shiloh? Do you have any fears?
Right, nobody's gonna help me get over.
I'm not gonna say.
Oh, okay. How have you? But how have you? That's true. How have you gotten over it? I don't know if you have gotten over that fear though.
I'm not over it. That's what I'm saying.
Well, question: what is the expectation? Like, what do you fear that's gonna do to you?
What am I feared gonna do to
Right.
me?
Also, storms, because you're really scared of storms.
Well, I know, but let's just keep with the needle.
Right.
I don't really know if there's a way. I think one of the reasons why Daddy moved on is because there's really no way to face your fear of needles except.
Well, and that's one of the reasons why I mentioned the storms is because I know that you have been scared of storms, and you will look at the tracker.
So many people are scared of storms, though.
Yeah, but this is the needle.
Honestly, but the thing is, I don't break down and cry over that. That's more like an anxiety.
This is the worst.
Okay.
But this is like a literal fear. Like, I break down.
So-
I can't.
I'm not gonna say my obvious one. I'm gonna go something else.
What?
No.
Skipping?
No.
Still didn't finish. It was a needle one.
Well, Shay, what do you fear?
How have you addressed your fear?
I haven't. I just
Exactly.
I was
Avoidance.
Yes,
Exactly.
avoidance. But I was like basically things like getting clip-on earrings to avoid having to get a piercing, stuff like that. Like,
Right.
I will do everything to avoid it.
Got
I
you.
don't really know if there is a way to get over that. I feel like, and the thing is, you have a high pain threshold, so it's not even it's not even about pain.
It's not about
Not
pain
even
for
about
you.
pain.
Right.
But can you? I think this begs the question: can you get over all fears in life? Maybe some things you stay afraid of.
Right.
Yeah.
Because like there's no way to really she should not have to keep poking herself with a needle. You know what I'm saying?
No, but I think that when it comes to fears, I think that it's important to talk about it, address it, and face it. Like for instance, like if you notice how Mummy had dealt with her fears, she had a plan, an action plan. We all had to be patient with her. We've spoken about dogs before. The same thing with planes. You have a fear with planes. We had to go through a certain kind of talking about it and dealing with it. And then we even went to the airport one time and actually like went through everything, bought the plane tickets and everything. And at the very last minute, we left and we didn't go on that flight.
Okay, but I just want to say that I had flown a lot before this. I had flown a lot, and then I had one bad experience coming back from Europe. Made me afraid.
You just say how it dropped down.
I heard a boom and dropped down, and then I said, "Oh, planes can do this. Okay, I don't want to go on planes anymore." So then I stopped flying for like 20 years. So now we're going to what Mirthell was saying.
But then she was able. Then when we were going on vacation, she started working on it. She got tapes. She was able to talk about it in a safe environment where she didn't feel judged.
I got a coach.
She got a coach, and she was able to face it. And so I just wanted to share that with you.
And I did 4 flights, guys.
Yeah.
Almost back to
Back, and
Right.
then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So just kind of share that with you. And even I remember there was another time where you guys were scared of storms. I think we all were scared that time. I think we can all collectively say when we were in Florida. When we were in Florida and there was like
That's more of an experience more than a fear that's a constant fear, you know?
Yeah, but at the same time, I think that storms is a constant fear for a lot of you guys.
like for example, we have our home here in the South, and you guys do not like being around here during tornado season.
Right.
For me though,
So that's
I don't
constant.
necessarily have those
during.
same fears.
Right. And I think that one of the
tornadoes are scary.
It's not that I think tornadoes aren't scary. It's just that I'm not afraid to be around here during tornado season.
So one of the reasons why I mentioned that is because there's many ways to address it. Talking about it, being patient, coming up with a plan. But when it came to the storms, remember when I could honestly say that I generally am not scared of a lot of things, but at that time I was a bit scared, and we jumped. I remember we were in Florida. We jumped in the car and we're running away from this storm, and we're driving the car and we're like trying to like listen to where the storm could be. And that was a real threat probably, but yet still it was a fear nevertheless. And I think that and during that time period, one of the strategies that we implemented was prayer. We all collectively realized we need to pray.
You know what? One time that I know when we were all scared, besides the storm, was when there was fires and we were all praying.
Oh my goodness!
I wasn't that afraid of that.
But prayer is a great tool that you can use just to know that there is somebody bigger and greater than whatever challenges that you're facing that you can turn to and that you can ask, and you just have that calming assurance in your faith that everything is going to be okay. So I want to also mention that because that's another way that we can address our fears. And so when you're looking at your fears, these are many ways that you can deal with it. You can talk and get it out of your head. You can talk with each other so that you can encourage each other and not pressure each other to force them into something. And you can develop a plan and a strategy.
Look, guys, Dad is not the type of person to have fears. Some people just don't have fears.
I just don't have a lot of fears. I just don't have a lot of fears
Shiloh,
like that.
Do you have fears?
Right. We want to get your fear. We want to get your fear in.
We're running out of time right now.
So it would be good. So it'll be very good if you share your fears. But if you don't have any fears, that's fine. Because I don't really have a lot of fears. So if you don't have a lot of fears, that's fine.
I think I don't have a lot of fear. I think a very constant fear is me being alone in places. And well, no, here's the thing. Because when I'm alone in places, I start hearing stuff. I start
like little creaks.
Yes, yeah, no. I start
unknown sounds. You know, there's a lot of people that do not like unknown sounds where you're just like, what was that?
No.
Like some people are okay with it, but some people are just like, I need to know what that is.
The point is that I guess we all have some sort of fear. That's why.
Okay, so I know what fear I have.
What?
I got into an accident when I was a teenager and it was a write-off in the car. And so now every time that I turn in a way that I would turn, or when it rains or anything, I overcompensate when I'm driving. I will overcompensate on that particular bend just because I fear that I'm going to repeat that accident. So you guys are right. I do have a fear. Our world is going through a really difficult time, dark times even confusing. Like, right. Who's a monster? Who's your friend? You know, and the Onyx family wants to challenge you at this time to face your fears. You are full of light, so be brave and face these dark times. Don't let the darkness in, and here's how.
Choose to love, not hate.
Be compassionate towards those in need.
Choose to be fair in how you treat others.
Choose to be bold and courageous by standing up for what you believe is right.
But don't forget to have mercy and forgiveness in your heart.
We believe that you can be a light, change the world even. Not so much by pointing out all those you think are monsters, but ensuring that you do not become a monster towards others. So that's our podcast. Thanks for joining us. Here's where we tell the story, feed the soul, make them laugh, heal the heart.
Bye.
Bye.